Welcome in. How's it going, guys? Let me fix the screen. How y'all doing today? Welcome in, everyone. How's it going? Dang it! I forgot my microphone. I need to go get my microphone. How you doing, Mike? Welcome in. How's it going, Scott? Demetrius, welcome in. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna put y'all on pause, okay? Hold on. I'll be right back. Hey, hey. Alright, guys, I'm back. How's it going, everybody? Bettina, welcome in. Jordan, how have you been? Mike, how you doing, darling? I hope you get some rest today. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the heart me. I ran inside to get my microphone. I forget to bring it. Oh, maybe they're busy, Jordan. Welcome in. Can y'all hear me now? Better? Can y'all hear me better? Going to Pennsylvania Thursday? Really? Are you going on vacation? Team, welcome in. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. How's everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. How you doing, Mr. Pendergrass? Welcome in. Good morning to you. Good morning, good afternoon. All that goodness, all that jazz. Let's see. Ronnie, welcome in. Want to see friends? I didn't get to see one. Oh, that's good. I hope you have a good time. You get to enjoy yourself. Get to hang out with your friends. Do some fun stuff. You coming right to Texas? Take on your last name? I don't know you, Mr. Pendergrass. I can't take on your last name if I don't know you. That wouldn't be good for neither of us. Oh, I got my coffee. It's right here behind me. I got my coffee. I got me coffee. You want to go to Texas? You better come before the summertime because it's going to be hot. Joey, be prepared for the heat. It's ridiculous. This heat in Texas is disrespectful. Be prepared for it. Are the birds in the nest? They no, when I came, they're flying around, but when I came out, they weren't in the nest. They seem like they're okay with me. They're not freaking out. Oh, it's starting to rain. Is 86 here in humid? I don't know what the temperature is here. It's starting to rain right now because I don't have your undivided attention. Undivided attention. I gotta welcome everybody. It's alive, Joey. It's alive. I gotta greet everybody. If I just paid attention just to one person, other people will get mad. Even as much as I try to greet people and make everybody feel seen, on the rare occasion that I do skip somebody or their message doesn't come through, people get mad. It's hot in Alabama. I bet it is, Glenn. I bet it is. And also, I'm dual streaming. I'm talking to 2 different live streams. Trying to make the most out of my time. When I first started going live on YouTube, I would go live on TikTok and then go live on YouTube, but that would take up so much of my time. I was like, no, just do it at the same time. Providence, welcome in. It is starting to rain over here. How you doing, Oba Michael? From San Diego, California. Blessings to you, Mike. Thank you for liking the live, darling. I don't know why it's showing now, Mike. Every time you like the live, it shows up for some reason. It does that when Ross likes the live. Basher, thank you for liking the live. TD, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Just as long as my phones don't get wet, I'm cool. I'm cool. Big Brows 92, welcome in. How you feeling today? My day is going good. Providence Shantae, welcome in. You subscribe, thank you. Obama, God, appreciate that. Zizo is coffee. You ever heard of coffee and cream? Physics bro, how you doing, friend? God bless you. I really enjoyed that movie you recommended last night. It was a very, very good movie. I'm gonna see if Yaya wants to watch it with me. I'm doing good, Oba. I'm doing good. Thank you, Mike, for the fist bump. I missed it. I missed the fist bump. I appreciate you. Thank you for the gift. My name, welcome in. Welcome back. SG. See, no. How you doing? I do drink water, but I also drink coffee too, and I drink tea. Thank you, TD, for the hand hearts. Basha, welcome in. Good morning to you. Lawson, how's it going? My plants are at home. I do got some plants here. I'm sitting next to a little fig tree that needs to be planted. Can you see it? But my plants at home are okay. They are right. Coach Mark, thank you for the follow. Too. I was amazed how you could predict what was coming. Yeah, I guessed it, didn't I? It was a very good movie. It was a very good movie. You doing good? SG, that's good. I'm happy to hear it. It was a very good movie. It had the best possible outcome. Ever had apple tea? Is it like apple cider? Or different? That's different, right? I did have a tea, and it had like it was a herbal tea, and it had like apple bits in there. Does that count? Tabby, how you doing? D Smith, welcome in. No, it's not cold. It's not cold. Can you hear me? Oh, my microphone is not on for whatever reason. It should be charged up. It be messing up sometimes. Neo Solar, thank you. Okunwagi. Peace and joy, how are you? A mad country, my accent. That's the first time anyone has ever told me that. I'm doing apple skin, of course. I make it when I make applesauce. That's cool. Apple tea. I want to try. Thank you, Oku. Groove Theory Girl, you talking about Emil Laurel? Jeff, welcome in. There's another movie documentary about intelligent octopi. I think you saw it. It's called My Octopus Teacher, I think. Gina from Scarface vibe. You know, I never seen Scarface. Thank you. Papua New Guinea, welcome in. That's me. It just sounds different. It's cool, it's cool. Pink depending on apple and really refreshing. It sounds like it would be refreshing. I want to try that. Big Brows. Ace of Spades, welcome in. Arthur, welcome in. How are you? Let me look it up. You said Gina from Scarface. I never seen Scarface. Maybe we can watch that on movie night. Am I biracial? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, my octopus teacher is it's a really good movie. Yeah, definitely Gina. You talking about her? Oh, dang it, where did it go? Thank you, Ace of Spades. I hope you have a wonderful day. You talking about her? Good morning, Halo. Gina from Scarface. What was her personality? You're biracial too, black and white. That's why you knew what I was, like counter. That's why you knew we recognize each other. Thank you for seeing me. I appreciate that. We watched Remarkably Bright Creatures. Yes, like counter, you recognize me because you know. Am I a gift from God? I tried to be Joe. Want to try some bold design rings? You got some of my name? All she wanted to do was dance, dance, dance. Oh, well, you know, Glenn, on my TikTok, I post dance videos every day. I stopped posting them on YouTube because of the copyright, the music. Thank you, Sammy. Welcome in. Simi, how are you doing, Simi? The teenager was biracial, Italian, and black. Tanti, how's it going? Welcome in. My day is going good. Halo, it's going good. So my mom is black. She's a sister, but she got some native in there. And one person was Puerto Rican, but she has Native American on both sides of her family. Her mom and dad's side. My dad's side, they're Scottish and English. I did my ancestry early this year, and I got 18 different countries, right? 18 different continents, I think. Yeah, yeah. I'm still here. Halo. Life with sports. How you doing, darling? How you feeling today? How's your day going? Both parents are mulatto. Both of your parents? Wow, that's interesting. When I was younger and I thought about when I got older, I kind of thought, what if I were to meet another mixed person and we got married and have kids? It does happen. I've seen, like in your case, it did happen, right? Both of your parents. That's pretty cool. That is cool. Lawrence Taylor. You know, some people get offended by the term mulatto. They don't like mulatto. They don't like that term because of what it means. I don't know. I don't take offense to it because if you say it, people know exactly what you. Usually, people know exactly what you're talking about. You're in Octadeca, 18 human. I don't find offense to it. Father's black, but my grandmother said they were Indian. You know, I did my ancestry. The native didn't come out at all, and I know it to be true. I guess I just didn't inherit that. Harley Ryder, welcome in. I am having a wonderful day. You're Romanian, Halo? I didn't know that. Romanian and Puerto Rican, I didn't know that. You mulatto? Mulatto? Michael, welcome in. Isolda, I like that name, Isolda. From Serbia. Also, today is windy. A little bit, not so much. Yesterday the wind was blowing. It was really, really blowing. Not so much today. Hello, welcome in, Isa. From Azerbaijan. Brent, how you doing, darling? Thank you for the heart me. Izelda from South Africa, welcome in. They don't want us to know we're native, perhaps, because it didn't come out it didn't come out at all. They always talk Spanish to you, really? I speak Spanish. My grandfather spoke Spanish. I speak Spanish. I am the only one. He passed away when I was a teenager. I am the only one. My daughters, they understand a bit, uh, but I am the only one that is fluent. Very far from the Spanish. I'm in Texas. I grew up around Mexicans. Mexicans, they accepted me, and you know, a lot of my friends growing up. I love Mexican people. They've been good to me. They've been kind to me. How you doing, Brent? How you feeling today? Had a few people in Afghanistan when I was over there. There is white DNA in my family, but I tell everyone I'm as black as the ace of spades. Which which side is it on, physics, bro? We are indigenous. I'm a little different. My dad is basically a Romanian gypsy called Roman. And over there, I didn't know that. Halo, I didn't know that. Me too. Welcome in. Mexican people are very humble and quiet. Both sides. Oh, okay. Picking Brie up from a friend's house. I'll be okay. Be careful, Brent. Take your time, all right? Teresa, welcome in. Did you growing up physics, bro? Did because you do have a lighter complexion? Did growing up did you ever get messed with or teased or anything like that? MMM, welcome in. Olin32, thank you for the follow. What's it mean? Because my hair looks like a jerk when I get out of the water. Maternal great grandfather, paternal great grandfather. Oh, okay. Thank you, Note One. Welcome in, Jesse. How's it going? Welcome in. You said yes, but I handle my business. Whoa, physics, bro, got them hands. You were throwing them hands, physics, bro. I see you, Lawrence. Thank you, Elevated 9. I didn't see you come in. I hope you have a blessed day, friend. I appreciate you. Rock 'em, sock 'em. You stood on business, physics, bro. I respect that. I can respect that. Mm-hmm. Oh, Redskin logo in the summer, really? I wasn't dark enough to be a brother and not white enough to be a dude, so I just stayed to who I was. You know, you don't gotta fit in. You don't gotta, we're kind of in a gray area, you know? And I've experienced that too. AB, how you doing? I think that's why maybe Mexican people, I don't know, they just growing up, it was kind of the same as you. Black people didn't, there are some blacks that didn't see me as being black, and whites didn't really know where, you know, to put me in the category. Mexican people were like, be cool. They didn't care. So I don't know. I love everybody. I have friends. I grew up with all different races of friends. I love everybody. Mexican people, Asians, other Latinos, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Indian. I don't know. My mom says so I was born prematurely. Resting in Jesus, welcome in. And I had to stay in the hospital for some weeks. And my mom said that it was Indian nurses that took care of me. And the funny thing is I do a lot of volunteer work, and for whatever reason, it just happened this way. I help a lot of Indian people. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm just returning, you know, back with the kindness that they showed to me. My mom is Romanian, Puerto Rican. She grew. Oh, okay. That's because we are church. And resting in Jesus, how you doing? Beautiful. Actually, I never tried to fit in. I was just me. I never tried to fit in either. My tan is this burgundy color. Look like a bruise. You get bronze. Kids are half black. I was born premature too. 1 pound, 13 ounces. Whoa, from an Indian. Really? Wow. Susie, welcome in. Yeah, my mom said they pushed her out the next day, but I had to stay in the hospital for a few weeks. I wasn't as small as you. You were a miracle, Slide Counter. You were a miracle. I was 4 pounds. You were a pound. That's amazing. My Mexican students were phenomenal people, intellectually, socially, and mannered. Yeah. What's my taste like? What do you mean? How you doing, country boy? Welcome, man. I don't know. Growing up, Mexican people were so good to me. They were so kind to me. Yes, post racial. In high school, I worked in an area, and it was like predominantly Mexican. And I worked at a check cashing place. I probably spoke Spanish 95% of the time. Juan, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo andas? 10 pounds, 11 ounces? Oh, you were a big boy. A big baby. Wow, 10 pounds. Dang. Your mama was carrying that weight. Ooh, 10 pounds. What fruit? I don't know. How you doing, Philip? Phil? 4 pounds is small too. God bless you. Yeah. I had a couple complications, you know. I'm missing a couple pieces. Still to this day, I wasn't born with certain things. But yeah, I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm in this thing. I've been thriving. Milton, how's it going? Welcome in. A little Persian, Dari Farsi, and some Pashto. That's cool. 13, I see. Philip, welcome in. You're a big boy country. Now, I am Yaya was 8 pounds and 6 ounces. I am very proud of that because she was exactly twice my weight. So she was two of me, and I'm proud of that because I'm like I carried that healthy baby. She come out healthy. Living in Monterrey, Mexico. I've been to Monterrey. Is it hard to manage all the hair? Yeah, it is, Philly. It is not on the everyday basis, but whenever it's time for me to wash it, so every few days, you know, I'm like dreading it. I'm like, oh, it's just the detangling because it gets caught in stuff. Thank you, Milton. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am doing good, DQ. How you feeling today, Shalom? Welcome in. Chevy Jr., how's it going? How's everybody doing today? Tony, welcome in. How are you? How's everybody doing? Boy, hi. Thank you for the follow. I'm sorry I missed your comments. Greetings to you. Man, I missed that person's comment. I'm so sorry. It's Susan. Thank you for the follow. Ever had micro braids? No. I don't have the patience, and also they wouldn't last. My scalp gets way too oily. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be worth it because I'd have to take them down. Lazaro, how are you? Welcome in. Let's see. Braids easier to manage? No. I've tried to do like twists, but my hair gets very, very oily and it just doesn't look good. It starts itching. I had to wash my hair pretty frequently. For the first time, and I could already feel the vibe channel. Thank you, Lazaro. Only speak it to make the woman at the high end mall uncomfortable because it's rare to see a black American speak Persian. What's my channel about? All kinds of stuff. Life. I live off grid. I'm not there right now. I'm in town visiting family, but usually I'm outside in the woods. I talk about off grid living. I talk about my experiences. I talk about God. I am a Christ follower. So many things. Thank you, Pastor. I appreciate that. Blessings to you. Group theory single? Yeah, I remember slacking. I remember. Does it make sense to just pull your hair back in a scrunchie? It does, but I spend the greater majority of wearing my hair up in a bun and back, and I I don't want to wear it like that. Also, I get headaches too wearing it back like that. Marnie is inside. Lawrence, I appreciate you. Hammock made me think. Aw, I got a bunch of hammocks. And Susan, thank you for yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes my mom, she can get on me. She's like, stop wearing your hair up in a bun all the time. She calls it a grandma bun. My mom can be a little bit rough on me with the with her, you know. In the wintertime, I do lose some of my tan. She be like, you need to go stand by a window, go outside and get some sun. You looking a little pale. I'm like, dang, mama, I mean, just make me feel some type of way. So I don't. When I'm working and stuff like that, I'll pull it up. Did I ever model before? Yes, I did. When I was younger. Sad boy, welcome in. How are you? Randy Jenkinson, welcome back. How you doing, sad boy? I modeled for a cosmetic company, and I did some print work for a skincare magazine called Dermascope. Listen to mama. I do for the most part. That chick, she a little bit of. My mom sometimes will tell me something, and I listen to her, and then she'll be like, "Well, why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Because you told me to do it, woman." And she'll be like, "Did I really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So I gotta be real mindful about that. Was it an open agency? It wasn't that I didn't have an agent. I didn't want one because I wanted to have control over what I was doing. I just worked for someone. Uh, just worked for someone. You know, I would get jobs from her, but I didn't have an agent. I didn't do. One time I did like clothing. I didn't like it. Um, but yeah, I didn't have an agent. I didn't want one. How do you see your role in relationship if you were married? No disrespect. If I were to be married, I would try to be the best wife I could be. You know, I think home life is very important. Taking care of the home, being support, encouraging, making home like a sanctuary. I think that's important, right? Cooking. I like to cook. I don't cook all the time. I don't have to. Right now I'm taking a break, but when Yo Yo and Yaya with me, I gotta cook all the time. Now I'm taking a little bit of break. I get a little bit of break, but I'm usually cooking 3 meals a day, and I like making home a beautiful and peaceful and quiet space, right? I see Joshua. See the print work. I don't have it with me. I have it at my tiny house. Halo say, okay, I'm ready. Saitama, welcome back in. King, how's it going? Team Light Bright. Ariel, how's it going? Derek, welcome in. Luis, how's it going? How often do I brush through my hair? Whenever I wash it. So, rest in Jesus, it just depends. Sometimes in the summertime, I wash my hair more frequently. I can wash it every other day and I'll brush through it. Usually, when I do that, the easier my hair is. Um, but when it's not as hot, I can go 2, 3 days without washing it. But at least a couple times a week, I wash my hair, and that's when I brush through it. Nathan, welcome in. Team Library, come in. Ricky, how's it going? I am from Texas. I'm in the U.S. You intrigued? Heavy, how you doing? Heavy, I appreciate you. You were hanging out with me last night, you and Mike, helping me do the word game. I appreciate you. Honey love, thank you for the heart me beautiful. How are you? Thank you for liking the live. Where are you tuning in from? What's going on today? Nothing much. I'm still in town. I'm not quite back in the woods yet. I will be. I will be. My ethnicity, I'm mixed. I'm mixed. My mom is black. The short answer, my mom black and my dad's white. There's some more stuff sprinkled in there, but that's the main thing. 38, how's it going? I have an accent. I do speak Spanish, sad boy. I take a bath every day, sometimes twice a day. Thank you very much. Ralph, you talk to your mama like that? You must take a shower. You must take a bath once a week. That's why you're saying that. I figure out a word for word of wonder. You already have it up? Tell me, why is it that the men come on here and pick at me? Can somebody tell me that? It's always men come on here poke at me. Bullies. Yes, he does, Piot. Let's go to Europe and go off creating a castle. I was looking at some castles yesterday. Halo, no kidding. I was online looking. I was looking in Scotland at the castles over there. Blessings to you. I appreciate you. Shalom. Andre, welcome in. The coffee looks good. Yeah, it may be a bot. No. I see you, Richard. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you. Oh. Grand rising to you, Mr. Authentic. The birds have chilled out a bit. They see me out here and they're all right. Can it be called Tabbyland Castle? We can do that. We can absolutely do that, Jamie. How you doing, darling? We can get Tabbyland Castle going. Steven, how's it going? We can have Tabbyland Castle. We can have a big slumber party. Just invite everybody over. Yeah, I'm still in Texas. My mom's side from Texas. My dad's side, they're in California. I was online yesterday looking for land. Sometimes I get a little bored and I look for land outside of the U.S. That's what I was doing yesterday. I was looking in Scotland. They got castles over there for sale. They expensive though. They got castles over there. I don't need a big castle. I just need a little bit of. Are there any little castles? To all the castle barbecue operator, I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I have a tiny bit of a headache. It's like here. I want to cancel friends with the vineyard. It just sounds like it'd be cool, but it'd be cold in the wintertime. How would you heat a castle? Thank you for the follow, yo daddy. Thank you for the rose. How would you heat a castle? Now that's a commute. Heating and cooling bill, yeah, it would be crazy. That's why I want an underground home. Something that's partially underground. Because the ground maintains a temperature from like 50 something, 55 degrees around that. And so in the wintertime, you just have to heat from whatever degrees it is on up. And in the summertime, that would be, it's cool. Jeff, welcome in. In medieval times, they use only heat a couple rooms and everyone will be in those rooms. Men are damaged. Author Scott Galloway has his finger on the pulse of damaged American men. His work is fascinating. I'm not familiar. Scott Galloway. Heat up with the fireplace I seen in the video. Some of those fireplaces were massive. Like huge fireplaces. Lights welcome in. I'm in Missouri. Now they have lots of underground businesses, caves, and I'm sure living areas as well. Yeah, I want something. I look for land that's like in hills, mountains. Just carve out a side of a mountain. Make me a little tiny home in there. If I say I admit I'm damaged, but my credit score is in the high 700s, yeah, I don't care nothing about that credit score. James, you gotta be a good. Everybody has trauma, right? But are you willing to do the work, the inner work to heal yourself? Do you have a relationship with God? That's important. I believe, if you have a relationship with God, then He is your moral compass. I follow God. I wouldn't do good with somebody that doesn't follow God. We wouldn't be. There would be probably disagreements. How you doing, James? Chilling in my loft on my beanbag, looking at castles. That's cool, Jimmy. Oklahoma was a violin. It's cheaper over there. Oklahoma got a lot of tornadoes. I'm trying to get out of Tornado Alley. Hello. Qwerty, welcome in. Nancy, welcome in. How are you? Gift of God, how are you? Let's see. I'm going to look up Scott Galloway. Gift of God, how are you? Ruby, welcome in. Beautiful. Buenos días, Carlos. Desde la mitad del mundo. ¿Cómo andas? Thank you, Jordan. How are you? You good? I am doing well. I'm blessed. I'm good. I'm happy. Ghost Rider, welcome in. One thing I realized I dislike about being in town. I've known this, but I was thinking about it today. one of the reasons why I get so bothered by being here, I dislike the sound so much. It is so noisy and so loud. Machinery, appliances inside the house, it bugs me. It's so quiet inside my tiny house. If you hear anything, it's the birds. I don't know. It'd be fun to build a castle, but with all modern extras in it. That would be cool. Thank you, FY. Galloway mentions that our culture is set up to keep young men in front of the screen, gaming, gambling, porn, social media, etc. I was having a conversation with my mom because I was telling her, the Bible reading the other night, and I was telling her that some of the Old Testament is just kind of tough, it's heavy to read. And we were breaking down some Bible verses, and I was brought up in a Pentecostal and a holiness church, and so I was taught certain things. The church I go to now is non-denominational, and I have a lot of respect for my pastor. He went to seminary school, and one of the reasons, although I have moved and I live very far from my current church, um, it's about 170, maybe 180 miles for me to travel to my church. That's a one-way trip, going and going back home. But the reason why I continue to go, and if I can't go, I'll watch online, is because the way he breaks down scriptures. He can give you the Greek word, he can give you the Hebrew word. He studied the culture back then, the way they write, because the way they write is very different. His writing style is different than how we write today. And a lot of scriptures that I was taught growing up, I learned as an adult that it was taken out of context. And so I was talking to my mom and I was asking her about certain things, and my mom, we were having, I wouldn't say a disagreement, but she was just kind of telling me how she felt. And I look at things from a different perspective. She looks at things from a different perspective, and I know where she's coming from because she taught me. You know, she I was going to the same church she was going to. But it's just, I spend a lot of time reading. I spend a lot of time studying. I spend a lot of time. I do fast when I'm trying to gain some understanding and some discernment. And Bruce, welcome in. AJ, thank you for the year. Awesome. The gold and the finger heart. The rose. Good morning to you. I am doing well. Welcome back in. I remember you. Thank you, thank you. It's a girl cutie. Mr. Guy, how are you? Thank you, JR. But William, how's it going? But back to kind of what you were saying, physics bro. I don't know. There is a lot of disconnect between men and women nowadays. Welcome in. The bird tried to come and go back to the nest. It got close, but then it went away. I enjoyed the movie too, James. Physics bro picked that movie. It was a good movie. Fasting is difficult. It is difficult, but I believe it's needed. I don't get to do it as much as I would like to because it is a bit taxing for me. I've done 3-day fast, 72-hour fast. Rudy, welcome in. Good morning, Calvin. How are you guys? Thank you for the likes. Jerome, welcome in. Casual91, thank you for the follow. Chill Real Deal, welcome in. Many spouters of scripture fail to look at the scripture through excessive, throwing the original extended meaning out of a passage. Instead, they use. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Reading your own subjective ideas and agendas. I would agree with that. And a lot of the times, especially when we talk about certain scriptures, and especially when it pertains to like women, I know what scripture says, and I know how to, I guess, I don't want to say defend, but sometimes I do know how to defend myself. Like, I know the scriptures that I can pull from, but I struggle putting it in words because I'm always mindful and I want to be respectful toward people, even if they're not being respectful toward me. But people can cherry pick, and not only can they when they cherry pick, they can bend it to kind of further their point. And a lot of times when people come on the live, they already have it planned that they may come and poke at me, so they're prepared. Whereas I'm kind of put on the spot. The covenant argument we had the other day is a good example. Yeah. Being a Gentile, I follow teaching of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Jesus loves all women. I believe Jesus loves all women. I believe that, now this is me, I'm saying this, I believe, and it's my understanding of scripture, that God looks at man and woman as equals. Not that we can do the same thing. Women can't do what men do, and men can't do what women do, right? We both have our role, we both have our parts. Together, I believe that we represent the totality of God, right? It's not to say that, one is better or one is more needed than the other. I was taught that because man was here first, that he has dominance over women, right? And I've since come to learn through studying scripture and just doing my own work, and it's fascinating asking God questions, that that is not the case. That God created us to walk side by side and to submit and to serve one another. Um, but if I say that, I'm, you know, I'm called a feminist and things of that nature. I'm not a feminist. I don't consider, I don't identify with that. I'm just saying both is needed. One is not greater than the other. I don't, it bothers me, like men say this all the time, women need to submit, but it says, wives, submit to your husband, and husband unto your wives. God doesn't force us to submit. Christ didn't force us to submit. We have free will. We can either do it or not do it. So if God doesn't force us to submit or do anything, why as humans do we try to force other people to do it? Living prophet woman in the Bible. Lawrence, how's it going? And we love Mary, Mother of Jesus. You'll cook. I'll mow the yard tomorrow. Berry Bear, I see you. The excavator, welcome in. How you doing, Lawrence? Tim, how's it going? Thank you for the heart me. I see you, Space Time Adventure. My beautiful love, I see you. Paul was specifically talking to the Corinthian women about covering their heads. It was in not a fly. I know, but trying to explain that to people, the thing about it is, if somebody thinks they're right and they come on here and they're trying to tell me, like, they don't want to learn. They feel like they're right. and they want me to admit that they're right, say that they're right. Isa, how you doing? Yay, 13. Space Time said no, we don't. All right, Tim. I will. I will. I have to remember to. I be on live for a couple hours, and then when I get off, I don't be on my phone. But I remember to, Tim. Mackenzie and I just had a discussion about the importance of women in the Bible. A lot of there, there are a lot of men that feel like women can't be pastors. I went to a church one time growing up, and they taught that women shouldn't speak in the church, that they are to be silent in the church. And I can't remember exactly what scripture that it is, but it's a scripture that I've researched, and I've gone back to you know the thing about it is some words have been changed, they have been replaced. you know King James, I think he commissioned, it was 52, no, 54 scholars to translate the Bible. And if you know anything about King James, he had some stuff going on. And like when it talks about Phoebe, it says that in the original Greek text, it says that she was a minister. Like the word that is used, I can't remember the Greek word, but it says that she was a minister or like a deacon. It's the same word that it describes other men in the Bible, but they changed it so that it said something else, and it kind of denotes something that doesn't have the same impact as the word that was originally used. And there are places throughout the Bible when it refers to women that such, it has been changed. And the thing about it is that now you have, you know, our religion, Christianity, you have a lot of people that follow that to the T, and they use that. And it can be to women's detriment sometimes. I don't know if that makes sense. Tim, thank you for the Sunday bowl. Early Christians had women preaching the word of God. They simply stating that the males are to lead us all. But the thing, I don't know, a lot of people take that word lead and they think it means dominance. And I don't find that that's what the scriptures are saying. They're still trying to change it. Thank you, Brent, for the furry friends. I missed it. Does not always do the right thing a woman should preach. Black, welcome in. JD, how's it going? Okay, let me catch up. I think you should dismiss topics for 24 hours and invite the person back the next day to allow you to research the topic. The people of Jesus' time lived in a way that isn't possible in this age. Some things are timeless. Love one another, don't lie and cheat, be kind and generous, value life and righteousness. He said, but if they're angry, they're evil. What are you referring to? Annie, welcome in. Many Protestant denominations, such as the United Methodist Church, the Presbyterian Church USA, the Anglican Church, ordain women as pastors and bishops. They interpret biblical texts like Galatians 3:28, which states that there is no longer male and female, for all of you are one in Christ Jesus, as a mandate for equal spirituality authority. I agree with that. I was asking what you meant, space time. Dedrick, how's it going? But I have been to a lot of churches and where they feel like women are to be silent. Carlos, welcome in. 1 Timothy 2:12. I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. Yeah, it's some stuff have been changed, and also you got to remember who was he talking to. A lot of times he was talking to a specific group of people for a specific reason. Organized religion have corrupted Jesus and his followers. Warriors. Brian, welcome in. Because if you, what about the other women that had prominent roles in the Bible? Look at Deborah. Look at Junia. You guys know Junia? Good afternoon, Carlos. Can y'all hear Ilse? Thank you, Gerald. Deborah, she was a judge. There's other women in the Bible that had prominent roles. Denominate argue the instructions were specific to a temporary cultural historical context in the ancient church at Ephesus, Timothy 2:12. My point exactly. Physics growth. Thank you. Luis, welcome in. Luis. Esther, Deborah, Esther. I'm forgetting a whole bunch. How old am I? 41. Junia. Phoebe. Phoebe was a minister. How you doing, William? Thank you, William. Thank you for the follow. Junia was an apostle. If that's the case, if women were to be silent, women can't be ministers or preachers. What about Phoebe? What about Junia? I look 20s. Old Testament not accommodating to modern perspectives, while the New Testament can be any group of two or more can have church, whether man or woman. I'm hearing faith daughter is very well knowledge. Thank you, Chris. I love Jesus too. Again, those who use 1 Timothy 2:12 as a means to silence women do not interpret it through who got. No, I'm not talking about angry women who got angry husbands. Supervise, how you doing, James? Welcome in. You said Cap? Okay. Big Nat, welcome in. About women to coach the seed man would not exist. I didn't understand you, Big C. Happy Tuesday, William. William Stone. Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate you. Blessings to you. Thank you for your kind words. You said you talking about women who got angry husbands. How is that? Paul was addressing a localized problem such as uneducated women spreading false teaching or domineering practices rather than a permanent universal ban on female leadership. It's okay, the space time. I'm about to change the subject, anyways. It really. My day is going good, Big Nate. It is going good. How's your day going? How you feeling today? What you got planned? It really depends on the man's mindset on how to understand a woman's purpose. Thank you, Gerald. Everybody's doing good. I'm Jane. I don't want to debate. I was sharing my thoughts, but I'm not. I don't know what. I don't understand what you're talking about. I wasn't talking about women with angry husbands. I know I once said that, but I don't want to debate with you or anybody else for that matter. I don't debate with men. I share my thoughts, but it's not that important that I want to cap. Was you can call cap all you want to. It don't really make me none. This is my thing. This is my live. I share my thoughts. You can agree. You don't have to. You could disagree. It doesn't matter to me. You know, if you agree or disagree, I'm not here to force my opinions or thoughts on anyone. So, thank you, 13. Space time. Would you admit that Paul was addressing? I understand. I am learning the more and more I go live, and the more I read the Bible, that and the more I share my thoughts, that it's gonna make people mad. It's gonna make people upset. It's gonna make people that have their everybody has their opinion, and it's gonna make people uncomfortable. I'm sharing my thoughts. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to do your own research. You don't have to agree with me. You know, but Terry, welcome in. Terry, real deal. How's it going? Digital art, how's it going? Chill, real deal. I see you. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna read something from scientificamerican.com. Can plants have consciousness? The filmmaker behind the newly released movie Silent Friend shares the scientific and historical inspiration of his story of botanical consciousness. Yeah, you're right. Religion and politics are a great divider. Yeah, they do heavy. Does a ginkgo tree have an inner world? In the film Silent Friend, the protagonist, a neurologist who studies brain activity in infants, attempts to quantify the internal signaling of a ginkgo tree on a university campus. By the end of the movie, he's using computer generated visualizations to look at how the tree responds to its environment. Not exactly becoming its friend, but getting a touch closer to understanding the tree's experience of its surroundings. The film isn't based on a real study. If plants do have anything like consciousness, scientists have yet to formally describe it, but it is an imaginative exploration of how consciousness might manifest in different forms of life. Yeah, they got him out of here for this role. Ildiko Enyedi, silent French writer and director and a self-described amateur science enthusiast, says that the film was largely inspired by real research that has shown that consciousness isn't solely a human phenomenon. Coming closer to the internal world of plants, Enyedi says, help us to move out from the instinctive position that our perception is the default. Researchers tend to define consciousness loosely as the ability to experience the subjective, ineffable feeling to be in alive. This involves some combination of being awake and aware, having an internal awareness such as mental imagery and inner thoughts, and being connected to the world with an ability to perceive stimuli. Many cultures around the world have long thought of non human animals as having something like consciousness. Some even presume plants have it too. But in the Western scientific tradition, starting with philosopher Rene Descartes, the idea of non human consciousness has been questioned and frequently dismissed. Plants lack Plants lack the brains, neurons, and central nervous system required to have subjective consciousness experience like feeling of pain. How you doing, Kid Galaxy? When the New Age movement started to take hold internationally in the 1970s, some scientists tried to test whether plants really could think. Documented and popularized by the 1970 book The Secret Life of Plants, I have this book. This research came to some far-fetched conclusions, purporting to show that plants enjoy classical music and can read your mind. Many of the studies referred to in the book weren't reproducible, though and scientists rejected them for their lack of rigor. Some claim the studies severely damaged the credibility of future investigations of how plants sense and react to their environments. Still, Yeti says that the wave of research which occurred when she was a teenager in the 1970s got her interested in different definitions of consciousness that could apply outside of the animal kingdom. Listen to Ilse, she agrees. Thank you, Kid Galaxy, for the rosas. I missed it. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you, James Brown. I appreciate your kind words. McNasty, how's it going? Deco, welcome in. She meowing like that because I'm outside. I see you're a real deal. Ernest, welcome in. Alan, how are you? Jamal, how's it going? Can have abstract thoughts, can they? Like understand an idea or theory? That's not a real thing? I don't know. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Can animals have abstract thoughts? Maybe some. I don't know. The start of the 21st century saw a shift in consciousness research when scientists began using the tools of neuroscience to try to understand consciousness. Techniques such as EEG, which relies on electrical signals, and functional magnetic resonance imaging, so MRI, which utilizes blood flow, were employed to measure how the brain responds to its environment. With this data, scientists can draw inferences about consciousness. Today's research understands that plants, animals, humans, adults, and young children have different perceptive worlds. Maybe plants don't hear or see like humans do, but studies show that they can respond to sounds and mimic shapes and colors. Plants can even communicate with one another using underground fungi networks. According to recent research, these hidden networks convey nutrients from one plant to another and transfer messages that initiate chemical defense response against pests. Other tantalizing clues, such as early evidence that plants can pay attention to stimuli via the synchronization of internal electric signals, causing them to activate resilience during a drought or identify potential hosts, among other responses, are pushing scientists to continue investigating how plants experience the world. Anil Seth is a neurologist at the University of Sussex in England whose work focuses on the cognitive processes of consciousness. He says that just because plenty of creatures can't, for instance, speak or recognize themselves in a mirror, that doesn't mean scientists should assume that they're not conscious in their own way. We're trying to get indicators of consciousness that are meaningful for the population we might apply to them to. Seth says brain activity, speech, or movement are indicators of consciousness in humans, but different indicators might be more meaningful for non-human animals, plants, AI systems, synthetic biology systems like organoids, and so on. Silent Friend attempts to link the mysteries of human and plant sensory worlds using the trappings of science but with an added creative component. While the film embraces artistic embellishments of the science, Seth, with whom Ngedi consulted during the early creative phases of the film, feels is an example of how the arts can push the consciousness conversation in a new direction. The fundamental challenge of studying consciousness remains. It's hard to tell what consciousness is when you can only experience your own version of it. Scientists, in their quest to gather reliable data, have had to boil down consciousness to only factors that can be measured through experiments. The data about experiences are necessarily indirect. Part of the reason why film and books are so good is because they can do more to flesh out the nature of experiences in some ways. Okay, let me catch back up. Richard, thank you for the subscribe. 13 said, I think some can. Speaks truth, I Googled it, and animals can have abstract thoughts and dreams too. If an elephant can paint a picture, suggests that some can have abstract thoughts. I agree. I'm doing good, Michael. Welcome back in. Our minuscule knowledge of consciousness makes it difficult to determine the actual nature of consciousness in plants and animals. Michael, how's it going? Sorry, I was reading. The chirping bird. I don't know. I talk to my plants. I talk to my plants. I have a house plant inside. I can't remember exactly what type of plant it is. I named him Fred. And I talk to Fred when I'm home every single day. I missed Fred. I don't know. I named him Fred, but I kind of feel like, sometimes I feel like a plant can be male or female. I don't really feel that way about Fred, but I named the plant Fred. I talked to Fred. I missed Fred, and I went home on Saturday, and I saw some new leaves sprouting up, and I'm like, you look so beautiful. You look so beautiful and so lush and so green, and I really believe they respond. They respond to that. My mom had a bamboo plant, right? And it wasn't growing. It wasn't dead, but it wasn't growing. And I started talking to it. And every time I would come, I would talk to it. And she told me, she said, "You've been talking to that plant?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" She said, "Because it's growing." And it did. It had like new leaves coming up. And then I was gone for a while, and I wasn't there. And I came back to visit, and I was like, "Mama, what happened to it?" And she said, "You weren't here to talk to it." I said, "You been watering it?" She was like, "Yeah, but we went." I said, "You couldn't walk by the table and tell it good morning?" She said, "I just wasn't thinking about it." But part of it died. Yeah. Even if you talk negative to a plant, it affects it. Fred is a winner. Isa, how you doing? Yeah, so my plants, even the stuff I plant in my garden, I had a peach tree for a long time. Her name was Miss Peaches. I would go outside and I'm like, "Miss Peaches, you so fine. You gonna have the sweetest, juiciest peaches." Fred appreciate you. Yeah, positive vibration. Yeah. I'll talk to the trees out there, everything. I thank God for the trees, I walk into the woods and I'm like, God, thank you so much for these trees. Bless these woods because they give me shade. They give me, shelter. I don't know. Plants definitely respond to positive thoughts, words, and energy. Plants physically, molecularly react to both sound radio waves without ears or nervous systems, perceive vibrations and electromagnetic fields which trigger genetic, hormone, and growth responses. Movie about a vineyard where they're saying to the vines. I don't know. I'm talking to it all. I talk to it all. The trees, the plants, animals. Yeah. I remind everything that it has a creator that created it with a purpose. Just because they don't have eyes and ears like us, that doesn't mean that they don't have awareness, I believe. I mean, they're living and they're growing. They require nutrients. It's alive. Big C, how's it going? Yeah, I got the Secret Life of Plants. I have that's one of my favorite books. The Hidden Messages in Water is one of my favorite books. You can listen to that on YouTube. You can listen to it for free on YouTube. What else? I got a few books like that, but they're good reads. All right, y'all. I gotta. Dang it! I can't read this one. I gotta pay for it. Sounds like a cool book. It is a very cool book. Man, let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Let's see if I can find it somewhere else. Oh, thank you, Richard. That's so nice of you. Okay, this one. All right. This one is from Popular Mechanics. It says scientists say there's a place in our universe where time moves backwards. You guys know I like reading about time. What's the book? Which book? The hidden messages of water in water or the secret life of plants? Zaza, welcome in. Okay, Popular Mechanics. There's two I mentioned. There's the secret life of plants, and then there's the hidden messages in water. The hidden messages in water is on. It's by Masaru Emoto. It's on YouTube. You can listen to the whole book. Okay, scientists say there's a place in our universe where time moves backwards. This one was released May 7th. Okay, scientists have used math to show how neutron stars have a backwards time arrow. This is likely because their incredibly strong gravity leads to gravitational entropy. Regular entropy pulls things apart, but gravitational entropy causes things to clump together. Scientists in South Africa recently broke down the math of neutron stars and compared it to our existing paradigm for the forward moving arrow of time. The idea that time moves consistently ahead rather than backward or in any kind of looping or changing way. They found that in certain conditions, a neutron star's specific extremely high gravity turns this math inside out, creating a space arrow of time traveling the opposite of its usual direction. When it comes to the math, at least, the neutron stars are collapsing backwards in time. The researchers' work appear now in the journal European Physical Journal C. Let's see. They got so many ads, it's hard for me to. Let's see. Their investigation focused on what are known as epoch functions, which account for key aspects of space time. These functions also help to form our current understanding of time's arrow by quantifying entropy, the breakdown of order over time. The scientists call out three parameters, well, one with two subtypes in particular that make up these math problems. Have you read it, Richard, or did you look it up? Okay. The Ricci curvature scalar measures how local space-time curvature differs from flat space and is an indication of the matter-energy content. The Ricci square helps describe how volumes deform and expand or contract along geodesics. The Kretschmann scalar allows for the detection of true singularities, which are invariant to coordinate chains. The Weyl tensor allows us to measure the distortion of space-time due to tidal effects. That's kind of heavy. I'm reading the article from Popular Mechanics. It says all that to say, the parameter helps define how space-time curvature contracts, deforms, and distorts in different contexts. Cosmologists who study the tiny period of time directly after the Big Bang have long tried to reconcile the high entropy of the early universe with the fact that we still appear to be on the latter end of time's arrow today. Could the answer be that some pockets of processes have always been winding the clock back, so to speak? To investigate, the researchers basically chose to set two different ends of math equations opposite each other: epoch functions of gravitational collapse and epoch functions of spacetime curvature and the structure. The researchers loosely modeled these functions on recent work while other scientists used spacetime curvature as a probe to study exotic phases in neutron stars. Geodesic. Sniper, welcome in. Labori, how are you? Neutron stars are unusual compared to the bulk of that construction they're doing getting on my nerves. Neutron stars are unusual compared to the bulk of the observed universe. In fact, in many ways, they behave more like black holes than what they actually are. The cores of dead stars. You could walk across a neutron star's width in a couple of hours, but it would still have a larger mass than the sun. When actively collapsing, neutron stars are called unstable, referring to their energy state. In this study, the scientists set up a model spacetime and mathematically placed an unstable neutron star inside in order to calculate out the Ricci squared, Kretschmann, and Weyl values over time. They found that the epoch functions that included these values clearly decrease monotonically as the collapse progresses, indicating that entropy is decreasing locally. It ain't little Joppa. That may not sound like much on the surface, but decreasing entropy is one way to say that time, as we conceive it, is moving backward. It's like the collapsing neutron star is neatly sucking toothpaste back into the tube, to use one famous example. The researchers wrote that this result was expected intuitively because gravitational entropy favors clumping of matter, whereas the usual matter entropy favors dispersion. Gravitational entropy is a newer idea that gravity, instead of being a predictable fundamental force, results from entropy slowly throwing everything in the universe into more and more disorder. The two types of entropy, one which clumps and one which disperses, then are in a tension that changes when the gravity is stronger or weaker. The scientists concluded their paper by noting that their work is meant as a continuation and stepping stone in cosmology's ongoing quest to quantify different gravities and curvatures. Each new setup that we study helps to unlock some broader idea that can hopefully be applied to future research and keep the process moving forward, a proverbial time arrows in itself. I know that one was a little bit heavy, but it's interesting. Triple E, welcome in. Our teeth come from dying stars, according to your Jewish dentist. Really? that I can grasp is attempting to put toothpaste back into the tube and I have a physics degree. I grasp the, I understand entropy. I understand entropy, how it works, but it is a bit heavy. Some of that I gotta reread it. Some articles, there's some parts I gotta go back and really reread. Gotta break it down. Sometimes I even ask Gemini, Gemini, what does this mean? Can you summarize this for me? Leona, thank you for the follow. I don't know what it is about time. I am so fascinated with time. How we perceive time. Yeah, I can send that one to you. Let me see. Let me go back and let's see. Let's see. It is a moment to appreciate. Let's see. The passage of time is relative to the observer. An object moving at speeds close to the speed of light or experiencing strong gravitational fields experience time slowly than a stationary object. Ooh. Yeah, I've had difficulty understanding how we form from conception to about to a result defying entropy. We are supposed to be growing toward disorder, not order. I was reading something the other day and it was talking about entropy and how we have to constantly work toward order because entropy states that things work towards disorder. After Torah, so we obey entropy. I knew, thank you. Vino, how's it going? I sent it to you, Brent. 13. Dr. Jean, how's it going? Get some of my coffee. I don't know if I. Oh man, it ain't gonna let me. It's not gonna let me read no more popular mechanics. Oh yeah, I can read this one. I am almost at maximum entropy. Blake, how you doing, friend? I am doing good. I'm doing very good. Ricky, how's it going? Okay. This one is also from Popular Mechanics. It says, physicists say it's possible to send messages backwards in time. This one came out May 6th. Did I read this one? I don't know if I read this one. How you doing, John? Welcome in. Dustin, how's it going? Arturo. Okay. Physicists say it's possible to send messages backwards in time. Okay. Inspired by the movie Interstellar, a team of researchers figured out, at least hypothetically, how to send messages to the past. The researchers answered the question of how the movie's protagonist could communicate to his daughter backwards in time by hypothesizing that his memory of the past is a vision of her future. Retrieving memories from someone else's future and sending information based on them through a noisy time loop turns out to be more efficient than sending messages into the future. Okay, in the sci-fi epic Interstellar, strange patterns appear in the dust on the floor of young Murph Cooper's bedroom after a dust storm sweeps through the house. Murph thinks a ghost is responsible, but her father, former NASA pilot Joseph Coop, so Matthew McConaughey recognizes that the patterns as a gravitational anomaly encoded in binary coordinates. Years later, after Coop travels through a wormhole, he finds himself inside a tesseract. Is that right? A higher dimensional space constructed by future beings, where he can manipulate gravity across time. From there, he sends messages backwards through time to Mirth by creating the very gravitational anomalies they once observed together. I haven't seen that film. Soon some will be saying, oh yeah, I remember Fizzy Bro, he just surpassed Master B. What one message would Tabby send back to herself? Go and be free. Go and be free. Okay, because of time dilation, in which time slows down for an object moving at incredibly high speeds, year passed on Earth while only hours elapsed for Coop. From within the is it tesseract? Tesseract is right. Is tesseract. Tell me, physics, bro. Tell me, 13. He was able to send messages across time to his daughter. It turned out he had been the ghost behind the gravitational anomaly all along. It all makes for a great movie, but sending a message backwards in time might not be as far-fetched as it seems. According to recent research in quantum physics, it really might be possible. Welcome in. How's it going? James, how you doing? TJ, welcome in, sir. Time loops may provide a mechanism for sending messages into the past like Cooper did in Interstellar. General relativity allows for a closed time-like curvature, so CTC. Remember that one, okay? Closed time-like curve, which occurs when an object's trajectory through space-time takes it to the future and then back to the past. Another possible mechanism is quantum entanglement. If Cooper and Murph were quantum entangled, they could share information backward through time. Particles that are quantum entangled are always sensitive to each other's state, so even if one gets capsulated through space so far and so fast that it ends up in the future. Hi, how's it going, TJ? Thank you for the heart, me. How can that theory be proven? I don't know. I'm reading it. I'm reading it. I'm reading it. I'm doing good. How are you? Some physicists have suggested that the hypersensitivity between entangled particles actually comes from one in the future sending messages back in time. Recently, Seth Lloyd, a fellow researcher at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, wanted to make this very science fiction seeming concept into a reality. While bending space-time to build an actual CTC will require an almost unfathomable amount of energy, Lloyd has previously succeeded in using photons that were quantum entangled to simulate a CTC by sending one of them a few nanoseconds back in time. Now inspired by Interstellar, they wanted to see if sending messages backwards was an option too. Though it might sound counterintuitive, the researchers discovered that for a CTC-like channel that's full of noise, like the quantum mechanical version of phone static, it was actually easier to transmit a message to the past than to the future. Access to a noiseless CTC of one kind or the other has been shown to unleash stunning information processing power. They said in a study recently published in Physical Review Letters, adding that a CTC-like channel can be represented by a quantum channel in the sense that information traveling through the noisy channel effectively evolves as if passing through the channel, except for ending up in the past. That's trippy. Messages traveling through a noiseless CTC channel are being teleported to the past so long as no other actions are necessary to complete message transmission. It is because the channel is noiseless that the past and future versions of the time loop are the same. But in a noisy time loop, a message from the future is sent to the past through a channel whose noise affects its journey. The researchers see the communication channel between Cooper and his daughter as some noisy mechanism that defies the usual passage of time from the past to the future. What's really surprising is that this is more efficient than using a channel that's just as noisy to communicate forward in time. I mean, I grasp it to some degree, but it is trippy. The difference between sending a message forward and backward in time comes down to Cooper remembering past events that include Murph's decoding of the messages. Since this technically happens in his past, he was able to get through to her because he recalled her decoding the messages. So when sending those messages, he wrote them as he recalled them so she'd be able to translate. The only thing that violates this usual chronological order of things in this arrangement is the time loop involved. Otherwise, if Cooper were somehow unable to consult his memory, nothing would be different from communication that travels from the past to future. The team plans to model this setup with photons to see how they behave in a noisy time loop. The existence of CTCs could lead to perplexing consequences such as violations of casualty and escape from a black hole, they said. I'm from the US, I'm from Texas. Is that your favorite? Quantum entanglement? Escaping the massive gravity of the Tesseract, as Cooper seeks to do in Interstellar, would be an entirely different problem. Light Tower, thank you for the follow. That one was from Popular Mechanics. I don't know if I can read it anymore because they made me pay for those articles. Aerospace, how's it going? Bye. Yeah, live and share. Load up. Let's see if I can read one more. Frequency is a true thing. Yes, it is. Soundwave, how's it going? How you feeling today, Jeremy? Welcome in. What nationality? I'm American. I is American. Let me read something a little bit lighter. I love all things quantum, but my favorite is string theory. String theory is a theoretical framework in physics proposing that the fundamental constituents constituents of universe are not point-like particles, but rather incredibly tiny one-dimensional strings of energy. Temperature, superconductivity is another. I am doing good, Raymond. I'm doing good. So, a theoretical framework in physics proposing that the fundamental constituents of the universe are not point like particles, but rather incredibly tiny one dimensional strings of energy. Their vibrational pattern dictates a particle's mass and charge. It aims to unify all fundamental forces, including gravity. Just as a cello string creates different musical notes depending on how it vibrates, a string in this theory creates different fundamental particles, electrons, quarks, based on its vibrational mode. String theory naturally incorporates gravity because by predicting a specific vibrational pattern that corresponds to the graviton, a hypothetical particle carrying the gravitational force. For the mathematics of string theory to function without anomalies, the universe requires extra dimensions. Most versions require 10 or 11 dimensions, with the extra ones curled up so tightly that we cannot perceive them. In modern physics, there is a conflict between quantum mechanics, that's the physics of the ultra small, and Einstein's general relativity, the physics of gravity, and the ultra large. When the scientists try to combine the two, the equations break down. String theory acts as a mathematical framework that smooths out these contradictions, making it a leading candidate for the theory of everything. That's cool. The mama finally went back up to the nest. She looking at me. Charles, how you doing? Welcome in. How's it going? How you doing, Charles? How your family? How your grandbaby doing? Yeah, I'm not gonna look at her. Ah, I bent down to get my coffee and she moved. They're doing great. That's wonderful. How things going over there in Arizona? How you feeling? Possible threat? Yeah, I won't. I was trying to be all sly with it. TJ, thank you for liking the live. So, guys, I don't know if we're gonna have karaoke this Friday night because I want to take my Yaya out. I want to take her out and do something, but I will take you guys along with me if I do. But I found something for us to do, and I asked her last night. I said, "You want to go do this?" She said, "Yeah." So let's see. But I'll take you guys along with me if we go out. She'll be back. Yeah, she's perching on the tree in front of me. Yeah. Last night she's like, "Mama, I want to do more stuff with you." I said, "Okay, I'll find something for us to do." Yeah. When Yo-Yo comes back too, I'm gonna do more stuff. Me and Yo-Yo do stuff, but thank you, TJ, for the fist bump. But since I've been doing the live streaming, it has made their schedule restricted too, and I'm really trying to get out of that. My main thing is I want to have fun with them, and you know, I want them to always know that they're my first priority. And although I'm trying to do something, I want them to always be reminded that they come first. So yeah, sometimes I'm gonna miss a night or two. I'm doing good by the Pearson. I haven't seen you in a while. I was reading some science articles. Charles, thank you for the fist bump. But take her to a comedy club. I would like to take her to go uh, dancing, but like country music. I need to get her some boots and a hat. But I would like to. I think she would like it. But I don't know where I would go. Let's go fishing. I want to go fishing. I want to take her out. So I don't know. Sherman, welcome in. Yo-Yo needs a boost. Yo-Yo not gonna wear no cowboy boots, but Yaya will. I put my hat on her sometimes. I thought about maybe I can get her a white hat. What am I celebrating? Oh, nothing in particular, DeAndre. I was just talking about taking Yaya out. How you doing, DeAndre? 10-gallon hat. Yo-Yo, when she was little, she had some cowboy boots for the place I get mine. Great quality and low prices. Okay. club where there's minimal cursing. Mm-hmm. So the area that I'm be taking Yaya to this on Friday is where we used to live, um, and although she does really enjoy tiny living and stuff, being on the woods, but she says that sometimes she does miss. We lived in some cool places. She told me, she said, Mama, you cool. She said, I've always known that you cool, but she said, now that I'm older, I realize that you had us doing some cool stuff. We lived in some cool places. I said, yes, we did. Line dancing is a great out. I would like to take her to do line dancing. Limit her to one beer. I am good. I'm good, Sayla. How are you? Yeah, I would like to take her line dancing, you know. See, I would like to see her to be asked to dance. That probably make my night. See my baby get asked to dance. Yeah, so usually I have wine sometimes, and I like beer, stout beer. I don't have it all the time, but I used to have a family member that worked at a craft beer distribution company, and they would let me have whatever I want. So at that time, I was probably drinking more than I would normally, but they're kind of heavy. So it's like I would, if I was gonna eat dessert or something like that, I would have one. But I let her try just here and there. But like around the holidays and stuff like that, like for St. Nicholas Day, I give, I buy wine and I let her have some. I'll ask Yo-Yo if she wants to try, just give them a little taste. And once, so for one, 1 year for St. Nicholas Day, I got them some wine. The percentage was very low, but we were eating. I had cooked. I made ham, and they made mashed potatoes. I made cooked a bunch of food, and I let them have like some, and Yo-Yo was like, "Oh, I feel weird." I was like, "Yeah, no more for you. That's it. That's it. That's it. No more." But I've seen she just, I give Yaya wine. Like whenever I buy it, I ask her, "You want some?" We're at home. We can arrange to have 13 to ask her to dance. Yeah, we could do that. Sissoko, how's it going? Yeah, my mom, Mickey. My mom is black. My mom is a sister. Yeah, I want to take her out line dancing. I wish Yaya had more like girlfriends. She hasn't had really good experiences with like having girls around. It just hasn't been good. He said for sure. So yeah, my mama, she a sister. She got locks. Her real pretty. My mama real pretty. Thank you for the heart me. How you doing, Al? Thank you, Chad. But she told me, she's like, Mama, I kind of feel like God knew I was gonna have issues with girls, so he blessed me with you. So she's like, you are definitely my friend. And I told her, I was like, yeah, but you'll meet. Not all women are a certain way. You'll meet. You'll meet. There's some nice ones out there. I'm doing good. Thank you, Tony. Robert, how's it going? Yo-Yo gets irritated too. Like on her soccer team, she had this one girl that would try to bully her, And every practice, you'll be like, Mama, people get on my nerves. These girls get on my nerves. She had friends, but it was one in particular that just really. And I'm like, yo, you just gotta ignore her. She's like, why do girls have to be like that? I'm like, I don't know. Growing up, I mainly had like my friends were guys. I just got along better. Girls can tend to be kind of catty. How you doing, Jermaine? Nana Ray, I see you. What you doing? When am I gonna show my tiny house build? I don't know. If you can look up on YouTube Little Joppa Tiny House. It's on someone else's channel, and I thought about uploading it to my channel, but you can look it up, and it's on someone else's channel. It's a guy. He has a website called Tiny House Listing. But if you type in Little Joppa Tiny House, it'll come up, and you can see when I first got my house. So 11 years ago, almost 11 years ago, you can see how you. Robert, welcome in. Watch my language, mom in the room. What her gonna do? Her working. She can't do nothing. Her is working. I'm just messing, mama. Don't get me. Joe, welcome in. How's it going? That lady not gonna do nothing. She gonna get these rock'em sock'ems. Nana Ray gonna get these rock'em sock'ems with herself. TJ, thank you for liking the live. Have I ever done Ancestry? Yeah, Big C. I did it earlier this year. My mama know better. She know I don't cuss like that. It's funny because when I go around people that do cuss, so I was raised you don't curse in front of your parents. And I'm around people that do curse in front of their parents, and it is just so strange. It is so strange. Yeah, I did my ancestry earlier this year. 18 different continents I got. So uh my mom's side was different parts of Africa. Um is like small percentages. And what I didn't know is that my mom's side, it showed that it had Irish. So there's Irish on my mom's side, and then there's also a small percentage of Lithuanian. But the rest was like different. It was like a bunch of places in Africa, but just small percentages, right? But I think the total, like that part, the part coming from Africa, was like 40%, 40 something percent. And the other part was like, I don't know, the 60% or whatever is different parts of like, it's like Europe. So it's mainly Scotland, and then it's Scotland and then England. 7% German, a percentage coming from Wales, a small percentage Iceland. Yeah. But so you like, if you want to do the ancestry, do it close around, do it around like a holiday, because then you can get a discount. They usually do. I think I paid, it was $40 for mine, for the shipping and everything. And it didn't take no time. It was pretty quick. But how they get you is like, they'll give your results, but if you want to see what what came from which parent, you have to pay extra. You can do like a free trial. But I was just thinking, oh, I don't care which side comes from which parent. But when I saw that, like, when I realized that I had some other stuff, coming from my mom's side, then I was like, okay, I want to see. But it was interesting. I like that you get to see other family members that have taken the test, and also it shows you like the DNA that you share. And I have a bunch of family member in Europe. They kind of spread out over the place, but and it shows you how much DNA match you are. But I got family in Scotland. I got family people I'm related to in Australia. They all over the place in Europe. I didn't see any. It's a lot in Texas. Yeah, all I can say is exotic. No, I did ancestry. Who would be captured by law enforcement if I got? I was a little bit worried about that physics, bro. I got some relatives in my family. I'm like, man, but I went ahead and did it. But it was interesting. It was very interesting. I didn't realize what I did know um, is that I didn't know the English part and the German part. I was very surprised. I knew my dad's side to be Scottish, but there's like 25% English. I didn't know that. The German part, I didn't know 7%. But it's interesting. At first glance, I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, man, they basically told me what I already knew. They didn't tell me. And I was just looking, and I was like, okay, I see the black part. I see the Scottish. They didn't tell me anything new. But then when I started looking, I was like, oh, okay. Black is Midnight, 23andMe. Told me 2% Asian. You don't never know. You don't never know. I was surprised. My mom's side, it said my mom is but it's a different part. So my dad's part is from a different part of Ireland, and then my mom's side is different part of Ireland, and then Lithuanian, Togo, Ghana, Nigeria. So I got the Nigerian. That was the main part of my mom's side, and then there was the other little places like 2% this, 2% that. I was hoping I was gonna have something like that. Maybe a little bit Asian, maybe a little bit of like this other. I ain't getting none of that. I was like fudge. I wanted to be a little bit more interesting than what it is. Ronnie Johnny Travis, werewolf jeans, no. But I was hoping I'm like maybe they're gonna be a little Asian in there, maybe a little bit of just I don't know different stuff. I didn't get none of that. I didn't get no Latin America, nothing. I was like, man, it's kind of disappointing. Icelandic is interesting. Yeah, it is. Icelandic. And the Wales part is the Wales. I didn't know the Wales, the Icelandic or the German. All good to me. My dad though, he looks like he's Scottish, Irish. That dude had like freckles. He old now, so his hair is like gray, but growing up he had like bright red hair. His eyes, I think, are hazel, but he looked like he a ginger man, a ginger beard man. You're a Viking woman, Wilden X. Maria was like, because I was reading her my results. She said, it makes sense why you like to live the way you live. You living in basically a cabin and you like to live off grid and cut wood and stuff like that. She's like, them people, your people, they do that. I was like, maybe. She said, yeah, they be living in the little cottages and stuff and living like that. I don't know, it was cool. I get messages sometimes from people that I share DNA match and they want to talk to me. I think that's nice. I always like connecting with people. I told my mama, because my mama did it too. I was like, well, now you know I'm definitely your child. She was like, I better be. Now you know I'm your child. Ain't no mix up at the hospital. Old soul, yeah. I think so, Al. So, I don't know about reincarnation and stuff like that, you know. But I remember growing up, I would have these dreams, and the dreams were just very vivid. But I'm like, I didn't live through that time. How would I know any of that? Like, I didn't experience that. I wasn't around for that. How would I know any of that? How would I know to dream of something like that? It was kind of weird. White Sass, how's it going? Tabby Jones. Nathaniel, welcome in. I do want to go. I want to go Scotland. I want to go Ireland. I would really like to go Scotland. They say it's like gray and rainy over there, but I want to go. I gotta. I have a passport, but Yaya and Yo-Yo's that is expired. I gotta redo theirs because I want to take some trips. See some stuff is. Take them to see some stuff. Do some things. Eat some good food. I think the mama went back in there. Yeah, the mama is up there. This Scotland every year, really? My mom said if I do the ancestry, they're going to deport me. Oh, they won't do that. But maybe listen to your mom, though, Halo. Middleton, Scotland, castles in Scotland. Let's go. Any tulip flowers? I don't have any tulip flowers. I don't think tulips are still in. Are they still in season? I think they're coming towards the end of their season. That's cool. I want to go to Scotland. Deja vu? Yeah, I've experienced deja vu. I experience it often. Roz, how you doing, beautiful? How are you? How you feeling today? How's it going? Thank you, Frank, for the compliment. Thank you guys for the likes. I got 47 thumbs up. You mentioned the dreams you are connected to the universe. Everybody's good, Miss Lady. Everybody's doing very good. Alright, you gonna get a haircut? You gonna cut them 11 hairs? Physics, bro. As you always say. I hope you have a wonderful time tonight. You gonna get all spiffy, look all nice. I hope you have a lovely time, Physics, bro. Just one look at you and I know going to be a lovely day. Aw, thank you, Mike C. Northwest Norfolk, England. Spiffy time. Yay. Be careful, Physics, bro. You be safe. Post a picture of your fit? Yeah. We want to see you, Physics, bro. We want to see you look all spiffy and nice. Sam, how's it going? Alright. I'm going to head out too. I'm kind of hungry. I didn't eat. I ate cereal. I ate a bowl of cereal for breakfast today. Yes, I did. I'm gonna go in there and wake up Yaya, see if she wanna do something today. You know, while it's not raining, see if she wanna go out. Thank you, Maurice. Antonius, how's it going? Tonight we're gonna be playing Connect 4 Uno, so y'all come hang out with us. I'll preserve the 11 strands, just make this shorter. I'll be back on. We'll be back on playing Connect 4 Uno if you want to come out and hang out with me. I hope everyone has a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Sharing your time with Tabby in Tabby Land. All right, y'all. I'll be back on tonight. If you're new here and you enjoyed hanging out with me, give me a follow and a subscribe. Thank you, Rod. Oh, that was Marnie and Ilse. Thank you, Roz. And don't forget to hit the like before you leave. Oh, it's okay. You can I'm gonna be dual streaming Physics Pro, so you can rewatch it on YouTube. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate you. San Antonio on the roll. Yeah, we can do a rematch, Halo. Thank you, Mike C. Blessings to you. Thank you, Roz. Maurice, I see you. Antonius, thank you guys for the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 13 and Mike? Yeah. If they're definitely 13, if Mike is back, we will play. I will play. Alright, y'all. I send y'all my love. I hope everyone has a lovely day. Thank you, Al. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you, Roz, for the fist bump. Thank you, Halo. I hope you enjoy your lunch. TJ, thank you for coming in, hanging out, tapping the screen. I know you're busy working. I appreciate you. Thank you for the rose. We can do a rematch. We can definitely do a rematch. James, I see you. I hope you have a lovely day. All right, guys. I'll see y'all, okay? J Money, you caught me at the end of my live, but I'll be back on tonight at 8:30, okay? 8:30 Central Time. All right. Blessings, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank you, Brent. Thank you for the gifts. Putting tips in the table jar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all. Are you going to Canes? I hope you enjoy it. All right, y'all. See you. All right, y'all. I'll be back on tonight.